Today, though, it's quiet. A few bunkers uncovered, then a quick lunch, and back down the trail to the pickup zone. Just a peaceful walk in the sun.
Side trails we came down and had more use on it than when we first came down it. So I looked up and spotted it was near the AK. It was like a quick draw. I opened up in him, he opened up in me.
Tôi đang thích rồi mà con đâu ở. Tôi cảm thấy sáng hơn chừng nào. Các bạn với tôi nói, tôi phải về để nói cho các bạn biết rằng tôi đã
The enemy soldier who shot Jorgensen cannot be found. He may have survived or dragged himself off to die. Most of the time, you never really know. The problem now is to get Hero out of here. Someone rolls in the medevac helicopter and sets up a perimeter to protect him. Hero has stopped making grave jokes now. The shock has worn off. The pain has removed. The helicopter hovers over the jungle. In the midst of the firefight, his buddies are working on the rescue. And he's pulled up 100 feet. 100 feet from the one-way ticket out of the Vietnam War. And then it's quiet again. Alpha Troop 19 plus one man, gingerly making his way back through the heat and the smell of gunpowder, back to the pickup zone.
beautiful.
One GIs bound for a jungle clearing a mile from the Cambodian border. American soldiers hiking their way through the sweaty jungles of South Vietnam, searching for an elusive enemy. The temperature is almost 100 degrees, and the jungle stifles even the tiniest breeze. The going is slow. There could be a North Vietnamese regiment hiding a few yards away, and no one would see it. Nobody talks, so you start thinking. Specialist Ford Wayne Moore is thinking he's going to meet his fiancée in Honolulu in 2 weeks, and he will show her the silver star the general pinned on him yesterday. DeValle is the lone medic in the platoon. He's scared. Scared from the moment he gets out of the chopper to the moment it picks him up. Scared that someday he's going to get killed picking up a wounded buddy. Jorgensen just became a sergeant, but he doesn't like it. He'd rather be up walking point, where the action is. He's already got 3 Purple Hearts, so everybody calls him Hero. Then there's Lieutenant Newton. Everybody calls him Blue. That's his radio call. Blue didn't want to come to Vietnam, and he'd much rather be a businessman than a soldier. But right now, he's in charge of the lives of 21 men. Somewhere in this jungle, there's several hundred
I literally
Vietnamese
expected
who could wipe out
to be
this little
welcomed
American
with
unit
open
to the
arms
last
by
man in an
people.
unguarded moment.
Big showers of wine, flowers, kisses. Disappointed that there weren't people standing along the road waving to me and offering me flowers and things. I really expected to be greeted with open arms as a liberator, and it was as though I was invisible, as though I didn't exist. And that was a little perplexing. Moreover, they looked funny, and they acted funny. We just riding along in this Jeep the first day I got there. They lived in a straw hut. They had animals in their backyards. They weren't like us. They smelled bad. The whole country smelled bad. You could smell it. It hurt the nose. And that was disturbing. I think it was at that point that I realized things were not quite what I was expecting. It went downhill from there. What I began to understand within days, and which became patently clear within months, was that what was going on here was not what I was told. What was going on here was nuts. And I wanted to get out with it. Killed and injured every day, and the only place that you could focus your own anger and fear was on those civilians who were there. So it was this self-perpetuating mechanism. Because we created them, we produced them. There somewhere, and we couldn't tell one from another. in on the village, the whole village goes up. When you go through a place and you search it and you burn houses and blow them up. Whatever was left of that village, they had all the recruits that they needed. I began to understand why they didn't greet me with open arms, why they in fact hated me. better keep your mouth shut until you know what's going on around into snipers and mines, and snipers and mines, and snipers and mines.
Goddamn car, I wish I had my minis are in on.
We got red smoke on it. Where the hell are you at now?
I'm right behind you.
Roger that. Got me level. We're rolling. Touch on 3 or 4 rockets on the area.
I'm still receiving any fire. I'd like to walk in here and get over it. 610, we'll go pick up the Swift that just made the 360. That's pretty good. That's a fire over here this morning.
Roger that. Well, although this is big man, we received fire from the east. Looks like the southwest have got us around.
Roger that. Going out to the north and pick up Wendy.
Point them in.
Okay, if I don't get a chance to find those elements, we received fire. It wasn't light on the back weapons. It was 78 Rogers and 37 Mike McChickenhawk. Anyway, it was exploding type shell, and his ship's just shot that shit. He's rebel from it. Cloud has some holes right up next to his balls, and he's got a hole in his door. It's as big as he said he could put his fist through it. Jesus Christ. See this water? Water shot chase the big bear back this time. He shot the shit. And we received not just light automatic AK fire, it was heavy automatic and exploding type rockets or grenades or some shit.
Roger that.
Yeah, all this was within a 100-meter radius, so you don't see all the way around it.
Roger that. Now, Roger, this big man.
Go ahead, big man.
Roger, it looks like the missed engine will bloody all green.
Let's no sweat then. How's everything else looking?
Roger that. It'll be on fire for a little while back there. You don't see any big stream and flames or smoke coming out, do you?
No, I'm about 100 meters behind you, and I think it looks real good to me.
Roger that.
Now let's go play water control.
Roger that. plane in Da Nang. We used to call it the Freedom Bird. And I could fly away and forget the whole thing. It turned out not to be quite so easy to forget it, but that was the notion. And certainly for my last 8-9 months in Vietnam, I ceased to think. I quite literally ceased to think about why I was there or what I was doing. The sole purpose for my being in Vietnam at that point was to stay alive until I could get out. And the reason for that is that, you know, the kinds of questions that began to present themselves were just, the questions themselves were ugly. And I didn't want to know the answers. It's like banging on a door. You knock on a door, and the door opens slightly, and behind that door it's dark, and there's loud noises coming, like there's wild animals in there or something. And you peer into the darkness, and you can't see what's there, but you can hear all this ugly stuff. You want to step into that room? No way. You just sort of back out quietly, pull the door shut behind you, and walk away from it. And that's what was going on. The questions themselves were too ugly to even ask, let alone try to deal with the answers. Now, part of what was going on is that I could not have made sense of what I was seeing and doing in Vietnam because I did not have a full deck of cards. I needed to have an understanding of the political and historical realities that brought us to Vietnam before I could make sense of what I was seeing. I began to acquire the other cards in the deck during the 3 years or so after I got back from Vietnam. But while I was there, nothing made sense because I kept trying to, you know, play this game with 27 cards instead of 52 cards, and it kept not coming out right. And I didn't know why. All I knew was that it was nuts. I mean, it became clear within 3 or 4 months that my reasons for being in Vietnam were not clear. I mean, the people hated me. The Vietnamese people hated me. And it was perfectly, that was perfectly clear. I mean, people didn't say good morning to you. People didn't, I mean, people hated me. I know that other people's experience, some other people's experience was different. But in my own experience, the Vietnamese people hated me, and I gave them every reason to hate me. I beat them. I sometimes killed them. I destroyed their houses. I destroyed their crops. I destroyed their fields. I destroyed their culture. Why in the hell should those people like me? And I could see that I was doing that. And I could see that nothing we were doing was having any impact on the war itself. You know, the funny thing about Vietnam is that I was getting Time magazine every week. It came in the mail. I could read about my war even as I sat in the middle of it. And I would read about what Lyndon Johnson would say and what McNamara would say and what Rusk would say. And I could look around and see that, I don't know what war they're talking about, but that's not what's going on here. You're reading in the newspapers, this is what you're being told back in the United States. I could see that the war went on day after day after day, interminably, at the same pace, no matter what we did. At the time, I was in the midst of the battle for Hue City during Tet, 1968, February 68. And a Jeep comes hauling up the street along the river and whips into this little compound where we were and says, "Earhart, your orders are in. Let's go." It was the lieutenant, my boss. And I immediately began to strip off my gear and distribute it to the other guys who were there and said, "So long, see you back in the world." Got on a Jeep. Last thing I saw of those guys, they were laying down covering fire for us. We burned our way back down the street. There was a chopper sitting on the LZ. I got on a bird. Was up 3,000 feet above Hue City 10 minutes after I knew I was on my way out.